We're good? Thank you all for coming today for this vigil and rally for John MacKenzie. We are here today because another community member, an elder behind bars, lost their lives too quickly. We're going to start today off with a prayer from Sister Joan Gallagher from Sisters of St. Joseph's.
Let us be reminded of Holy Mystery, the divine energy that dwells within and around and works through us. Let us be reminded of the wisdom figures of our society, many who are put behind bars. May this spirit enlighten our legislators, those who work for the common good of all, to awaken and know more deeply that the good of our elders will be better served out and among the people. We pray for those patiently waiting to be released, to be restored to society, so that they can continue to gift us with their life and presence. And grateful for all those who will be gathering today to call upon the release of the elders who are presently incarcerated. And to this we say amen.
Amen. Amen.
John MacKenzie was a community leader. He accepted responsibility, and in his time in prison, he did everything in his power to be a good person. He raised money for victims. He worked on restorative justice. He was a devout Buddhist, and he is truly missed. In New York, the death penalty is outlawed. Yet every day, elders die behind bars. That ain't right.
That ain't right.
It is time for our legislators to step up and pass elder parole and fair and timely parole.
Yes.
At what point do we say that we've lost enough lives? At what point do we say there's enough death? We are losing people in our community every single day. We know mass incarceration is wrong. We know it disproportionately affects Black and brown people. And yet we leave our elders behind bars to die. I am calling on our legislators. I am begging our legislators. It is time to pass elder and fair and timely parole. At what point are we okay with death? At what point do our legislators let death happen? There are too many elders, too many leaders, too many important people dying behind bars every single day. And it is time for our legislators to stop it. They have the power to pass elder and fair and timely parole, and it is time that they pass this legislative session. I am going to pass the mic to Anitra Blue, new hour member and a strong community leader.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, so I'm here to represent the life and death of John MacKenzie. I never knew him personally, but I've known his work. And I'm here to plead with you. What is the purpose of keeping our elders behind bars? Making them pay over and over for a sin they committed, time they've already done, but not giving back, not having the opportunity to give back to the community. We want our community safe. What way to make our community safer? By letting our elders out to show our generations, our younger generations, our troubled generations, what it is like to have another chance and to be a better person, instead of forcing and making our lives miserable by doing things that we have to pay for. Why not let let them out to show the community, yes, I've made a mistake, but I've become a better person to give back. This is what we want our world to be. So why did John MacKenzie have to die behind bars? No, we don't have the death penalty in New York State, according to law. But we still have the death penalty based on our actions toward people who have made mistakes. John MacKenzie could have been a role model in our community. But you left him to die in prison, but to what avail? So we have to take a look at ourselves. What do we want this world to be? One of forgiveness or one of unforgiveness? So John MacKenzie died in vain. No, we will not allow his memory to be in vain.
That's right.
But we want to appeal to you to be a little more forgiving.
That's right.
You don't have to love the crime, but love the person who committed the crime when you see that they have proven, they have shown us all that we can learn from our mistakes.
That's right.
I have lived and served time with people who have done heinous crimes. And all they've wanted to do was atone for their sin, and they did.
That's right.
But you did nothing to show the world, to show the community that a mistake is always a mistake. But to grow to be a better person is what each and every one of us individuals are here on this earth for. So I plead to you, pass elder parole, parole justice now. Because if you don't, it ain't right.
It ain't right.
Yes. And this is my appeal to you. Have a heart. Save lives. Think of people like John MacKenzie and Val Gator. These are the people that help create people like me. I'm not the best, but I am always striving every day to be the best that I can be.
That's right.
We want more people like me. And if you are like me, we want more people like you. So pass elder parole now. Amen.
What do we want? Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Parole justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
Our next speaker is
Woo woo, Daryl!
Hello there, can you hear me? Which button
Just
do you push?
speak right into it.
Okay.
Loud and proud.
My name is Daryl. I'm formerly incarcerated. My heart is heavy because we're here 5 years after the death of John MacKenzie. I never knew him personally, but his death impacted me in a personal way. I was denied 5 times in parole. I was telling Shoshana that parole decisions were handed out where you would receive it in the mail. But after the death of John MacKenzie, you had to go see your counselor to get your parole decision. Because it's very disheartening. It's despondent for a person like John with a very good record of disciplinary and program, all the contributions that Kelsey just talked about, and that's not taken into account. There's just a focus on the nature of the crime. And after 10 parole boards of being denied, his lack of hope was just overwhelming to him. 10 times 2, 20 years added on to a minimum sentence of 15, 20, 25 years, approaching 40 years and more. As we just stated, there's not supposed to be a death penalty in New York, but for so many elders, it's just that. It harms society to not have these people in our communities because they will be an asset. In the black community and brown community in particular, there aren't male role models there. And to have people such as John, and I can humbly say such as myself, would be a real asset. People that have atoned for their sins, that are making things better for those that are out there, that have been there and done that, and can speak to younger people not to fall into the same traps, to go with the same lies that they have fallen into. We beg the people in Albany, those state senators and assembly people, please pass elder parole, and fair and timely, so that someone will be judged on the merits of what they've done past incarceration, not on the undoable of what they had done to be incarcerated in the first place. There are many passages in the Bible that says, judge not, or you will be judged by the same measure that you judge someone else.
Yes.
We all need mercy.
Yes.
No one is perfect. We all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. This is about redemption. Please be merciful and afford redemption, especially to the population of individuals that are at the end of their lives because they're so elderly. Statistics have shown that they are not a problem as far as recommitting crimes or recidivism and coming back to prison. The only thing that would happen is that they're going to get out there and pull a young person to the side and say, hey, look, younger individual, I've been where you are, and that's not the path. And through their wisdom, through their experiences, they could be an asset to society. We're asking for mercy. Yes, there is a great deal of justice. They used to call New York prison systems the penitentiary system because it was all about penitence, about retribution. I believe it's a misnomer to call these correctional facilities. Where is the correction? Where is the rehabilitation? It's all about just punishment. Someone that has been there starting programs, done programs, such as myself. I was telling Shoshana in the ride over here, in the first year or two of my 30-year incarceration, I had completed all my programs and then went into facilitating those programs over and over again, taking aggression replacement training and various other programs that really helped me understand what my shortcomings were, what some of my personality defects were that led to the crime, and that could be passed on not only to my peers when I was incarcerated, but to people now out in a free society. And this is the people that you are languishing in prison and having to die that could be so much more of an asset. And as Kelsey had said, that's not right. It certainly isn't right. It's easy for people to stand back and point a finger of condemnation at someone that they feel that they're better than. But everyone has skeletons in their closet. And it's about time to look at the good in people and not the singular bad that they may have committed 30 and 40 years ago. And so we just ask that, the people in Albany and society at large would feel about yourself about how redemptive you can be for another individual, not how punitive you can be and looking down on someone because I'm not like that individual because I've done this, that, and the next thing.
Preach, Daryl.
And so that's really what it's all about. And it's very sorrowful that a life, any life, whether it's an unborn life, whether it's an incarcerated life, male, female, whatever gender or ethnicity, all life is valuable. And we need to look at some of these lives that we discard as being worthless in prison, as having great value, and to act upon it as such. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Daryl.
Thank you, Darryl. Hey, hey!
Hey,
Ho, ho!
ho, ho,
Free our people and let them go. Hey, hey!
ho, ho. Free our people and let them go. Hey, hey, ho, ho.
Free our people and let them go.
Hey, hey, ho, ho. Free our people and let them go.
What do we want?
Parole justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Parole justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
If we don't get it,
Shut it down.
if we don't get it,
Shut it down.
if we don't get it.
Shut it down.
And our next speaker is...
Oh, here we go, here we go.
Thank you. I am speaking for the people who are the collateral damage of our criminal justice system. I'm speaking for the families of the incarcerated. I don't know how you would feel if you were going to be judged the rest of your life for an act you committed 30 years ago.
That ain't right.
And the families who are on the outside, who are doing our time with the person who is incarcerated, suffer the consequences as much as the person who's incarcerated. I remember 5 years ago I was at a rally right after the passing of John, and I read a letter that was sent by his sister. The pain was unbearable. So when you think about releasing elderly people from prison, when you think about being kind, remember, it could be someone you love. So please remember to think of those of us who are collateral damage of the criminal justice system, and do not allow people to just spend years and years for redemption. Think of redemption. We are not a system of vengeance. And remember that coming up next month is the 50th anniversary of the Attica uprising. So maybe in honor of that, we can allow people to be released from prison before it's too late. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, hey!
Ho,
Hey, hey! Como! Free our people and let them go. Hey, hey! Como! Free our people and let them go. Hey, hey! Como! Free our people and let them go. Because you're going. Who's next?
Okay.
He's going.
Thank you so much. There's not much to say that hasn't already been said, but I think that we need to consider what is correction. And I think that John MacKenzie, his life indicated what correction looks like. He was accountable, and he tried to do what was right. He tried to restore. He tried to give back. He tried to redeem himself, and by all accounts he did, except by the accounts of the parole board.
That ain't
And
right.
he is gone, and he didn't need to be, and there are so many like him that we are speaking of today. And when we talk about what the correction system is meant to be, Daryl talked about it. You can do everything right when you're behind bars and try and do that restorative work so that you can come home and then get hit by the parole board. And as Daryl said, disproportionately that falls on black and brown people behind bars.
And that ain't right.
That ain't right. So I think that it is incumbent on our lawmakers, who are often happy to weaponize religion for their own purposes, to think about what redemption and justice and correction look like. Because it is happening despite all the injustice in the carceral system. People are correcting themselves. People like Daryl are availing themselves of programs so that they can come out if you only let them.
Woohoo!
And I will say this, I think that how we spend our money is a real indicator of who we are. And in this state where we say we lead in this nation, we spend 3 times more incarcerating people, locking them up, than we do on preventing how they get there
That
in
ain't
the first
right.
place.
That ain't right.
So to our lawmakers who are not, who should go back to Albany
That's right.
right now and
Yes.
pass parole justice and fair and timely parole and elder parole, we ask you, what are your values? Do you believe in redemption? Do you believe in correction? Do you believe in justice? Don't just tell us, show us. Thank you.
John MacKenzie was a person, and he died behind bars. That ain't right.
That ain't right.
John MacKenzie was a person, and he died behind bars. That ain't right.
That ain't right.
John MacKenzie was a person, and he died behind bars. That ain't right.
That ain't right.
John MacKenzie was a person, and he died behind bars. That ain't right.
Right.
We need our legislators to step up. We need elder parole passed. We need fair and timely parole passed. John MacKenzie was a person, and he died behind bars. That ain't right.
That ain't right.
How long do we wait? How many more deaths until our legislators gain humanity? People are dying. People are dying. John MacKenzie died. We will not let that go in vain. We will not let the deaths of our elders and our people behind bars go in vain. We will keep fighting.
Yes.
We will keep showing up.
Yes.
Until everybody is free.
Woo!
Woo! Pass elder parole. Pass fair and timely parole. Now.
What do we want?
Parole justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Parole justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
If we can't get it,
Shut it down.
if we can't get it,
Shut it down.
what do we want?
Parole justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Parole justice.
When do we want it?
Now. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for showing up across the state. John MacKenzie didn't die in vain. Our loved ones, our community members, our leaders didn't die in vain. We need to bring them home. We need them safe with their family. The only people who keep us safe is our communities, and we need them in our communities. Yes. Thank you all, and we continue to fight.
Yeah.